Hey, how are you guys doing today? So the monthly questionnaire results finally came out for last month. They are really taking their time with this one, but the next one should be out a lot faster. So the results for last month, which would have been June, is right in front of you. So we had the question of basically, yes, it doesn't translate very well because Google Translate, but more or less, if the old girls all had summer homework, are they more likely to be the one who's going to do it by themselves and be too stubborn to ask for help, or are they likely to go and do it as a group? So it's kind of a question of personality. Who do you think would be most likely for that? So there's only going to be one winner for both sections. So for that, we had Shizuku and Kanan winning that. We had Shizuku being the one who kind of quote-unquote stubborn, the one who's going to do it by herself, while Kanan is going to go into a group and do those homeworks together. So this has been done every month, so I have a sheet where I've kept track of every single kind of question and the winners for each section. If you're interested, go and click the link in the description below. But now let's talk about next month. We have this question this time. If you belong to the sports club, are you a player or a manager? So if you're in a sport, would this girl be likely to be a player, or is she going to be more on the sides and be like a manager? So that is definitely a question of personality. Someone who's probably a little bit more athletic and skilled would likely be a player, while manager is maybe someone who's probably not athletic at all, or maybe they like managing stuff, they might help out stuff. Now, I don't really think the manager in the sense like a coach or anything like that. A manager is probably someone who's going to help out with planning or organizing some stuff at most. They might be like an equipment manager who just brings equipment around. Nothing that fancy. Nothing too special, but in a sense they are still going to be involved with it, just they don't have a big role. So let's take a look at each of these girls and decide which we believe belongs into which. You can either choose a player, a manager, or neither if you feel neither of those are applicable for that girl. So let's go ahead and start with Ayumu Uehara. So for her, I don't see her being a very athletic kind of girl, but I do see her being someone who can often try to cheer up people around her, as she always seems to kind of have that kind of attitude. And you know, players could do that, but I think that's more of a kind of a manager type of role, is to be kind of more support. So if anything, I probably say that would be her position. Kasumi, I honestly can't really say she would have any of those roles, so I'm probably going neither. Like, she could be a little mischievous here and there, but I don't know if it's right to say the player or manager would do that, so I'm just gonna stick with neither for her. Shizuku doesn't seem very athletic either, so being a player is kind of, I don't know, she loves theater. She might be like loving the aspect of building the theater up, so maybe you want to go with manager, but again, this is sports here, so they probably want to care about sports more than anything here, so I don't see that being too applicable. Next up, we have Karanasaka, and again, I don't think she cares about sports that much. I really don't see her being too much of a manager role. Anything a little bit more of a player, but I still don't see it. For I think she's probably the most obvious for player for me. She definitely seems like that kind of person who would be popular, especially in sports, and as we know, she does have some athletic talent. Let's say she beat Rin in a race and all, so that does say that she has some merit. And, you know, she is very energetic and lively, so I think it's a pretty easy pick for that one. Kanata, kind of the opposite here. She will not be a player, but she could be a manager. She is more the one who likes to stay in the background and support from in the back. I guess managers could do that, but maybe you don't want a manager that sleeps too much. But I think that is somewhat possible. She does do things that you could expect of a manager, but maybe that's still too much work for her, so maybe not. But I'll lean towards manager. Setsuna, I would say player. I think that's a decent role for her, and I don't think she wants to be a manager. Like, as we know, she was the student council president, but there's a reason why she decided to not be one, because she wanted to be an idol. I think she'd rather be in the thick of things. She'd rather be someone who is literally participating in the sport, so I probably had to go for player for her. Emma, I don't think she cares that much about either, so I think she's just straight up neither. I don't see her being involved in this at all. I don't see her being crazy for sports, and I don't know, she doesn't seem like a kind of person to be in that manager kind of role. And then we have Rina Tanoji, and with her love of technology and her ability to struggle to socialize with our people, I can't see her be a player. Manager in the background maybe at most, but even then you still probably want to be able to socialize with the players, and I don't think she cares about sports. Maybe like esports or something, but not here. So I would say probably neither for her. So that is basically my picks, but you know, of course you can go ahead and vote for yourself. Click the link in the description. You can go ahead and vote on what you think is correct for these girls. Let me know what you think in the comments below, which role is best for each girl, if you have that, and if there's an explanation why, let me know. And here is the polling period, and they said the results are going to come out on the 11th of August, so I guess expect me to do that next day or two to see the results for that. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to catch you guys in another video soon.